right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Bravo by Gays. I'm your host, Larry. I hope you guys had a great week. It is Friday, thank God. We have so much to talk about, and I couldn't do this podcast with anyone other than, you know her, you love her, B from Bravo and Cocktails. We have so much that we need to get into. You guys obviously are listening to this Friday. Yesterday, on Thursday, the news dropped that Carl and Lindsay have ended their engagement. There are some things that I wanted to go over with B. We were going to recap RHONY, OC. We still might have some time to do that, but we have to talk about the bomb that just dropped. So, I mean, you know her, you love her. Let's just get right into it and talk about what's going on with Summer. B, welcome. And thank you so much for being here.
The podcast gods shine down on us. They're like, you know what? Larry's having B on. We got to give them something really good. I haven't fucking slept, Larry. I got this yesterday from a friend of a friend of a friend. Same way I got Scandal.
Oh my God. Yeah, guys, if you obviously know that B dropped Scandal prior to TMZ releasing it. She also, if you follow me, you obviously follow her, so you're well aware that she has Cocktail Party. And if you are not a member, then you wouldn't have known this. But if you are, you would have known this information yesterday because she dropped it yesterday, which is mind-blowing.
And, you know, Larry knows because, first of all, the first big scoop I ever got, Larry was the one who gave me the advice to post it. Do you remember that? When we got the scoop about Brandy's Dallas husband cheating, and we were in our group chat. This is going back to our COVID days when we were in the chat all day long, avoiding our real jobs.
Yeah.
And I sent the video in the chat, and I was like, oh my God, I don't think I can post this because I feel bad. And Larry, what did you say?
I said, do it. If you don't, somebody else is going to.
And that's basically how, like, I was born as this, like, terrible gossip site. And then everyone's sending me, like, other people on, not yours, because I feel like our followers are, like, similar-minded.
Yeah.
But there's some, like, tree stand accounts, and people are commenting, oh, she's always wrong.
Yeah.
And then Entertainment Tonight and Page 6 confirmed it, like, 24 hours after I posted that Carl and Lindsay's engagement was off. And listen, it's a stroke of luck. I don't know these freaking people, but
right.
People send me stuff. I post it. Is it always right? No, but Scandal and this were right.
I mean, you're hitting like big when it comes to like the big time stories, right? Obviously Scandal and now this. Guys, I probably need to give my boss a public apology because I haven't done a damn thing at work today aside from refresh my phone looking for everything that's going on. We're obviously like in a group chat with like a couple of our like account friends, and we're talking back and forth. It's going crazy. I'm refreshing Lindsay's page, Carl's page, looking for statements to be made. Like, it is just like one of those things that sucks you in. And it was even like the same like yesterday when we were talking about this because nobody had said anything about it. And it was just like, well, when is this going to come out? And then this morning it just dropped. I was like, what the fuck?
I'm always surprised. Okay, I have to be honest. Like, I did an emergency pod last night. At that point, I knew it was true. I knew it was true because, number one, Lindsay and Carl would have posted if it wasn't true. So
100%.
That was like the main indicator that it wasn't. But the other reason I knew it was true was because once I post something, it's dominoes, right? Everyone sends in what they know. And there were just too many things and it was too much leading up to it. But the overriding question that I think all of us want to know, and regardless of like my cocktail party scoop and all the tips and all this, all that, the overarching question, other than who gets Barry's, who can't.
Right.
We're joking. Listen, we feel bad for them. Breakups are terrible. Was this ever real? Was Paige onto something when she said, you guys are totally fake, everything's bullshit? She didn't come out and say your relationship is bullshit because I think she realized, number one, I don't think she knew for sure that it was. I think that a lot of them suspected it was all for show. I think once they got engaged, they were kind of like, okay, well, they wouldn't plan a wedding for show.
Right.
Was it all for show? And would they put their lives on hold, like in the dating world, for that long?
I mean, if you're thirsty enough for fame, I can see somebody doing that. But I mean, they were really deep in it. I mean, they were due to get married in November. So you're 2 months out from a wedding. They were getting married in Mexico. I believe invitations had gone out. She just had a bridal shower. I mean, she's got to return all those gifts now. Like,
Okay, but if you knew, and again, I'm just playing like conspiracy theorist here. If you knew it was fake, you keep all the gifts so that you could easily return them. I mean, the
right.
gifts are like the least of it. Here's the thing. Okay, now this is kind of like a wild theory, and it's in Cocktail Party, so there's a lot in Cocktail Party. I'm going to keep some of it there, guys, so
Yeah.
subscribe. But I'm hearing that it stopped being refundable to guests 2 days ago.
Stop
So
it.
if it was fake, Larry, and you have all your friends coming to Mexico, wouldn't you pull this whole stunt with enough time for them to cancel? So one of two things. That's what they come out and say, right? So that it doesn't look fake. And then all their friends are legitimately fucked. Or it is fake and they make up and this is all just a stunt.
I feel like that's a lot of work to do that for a stunt. I mean, but it does align with the timeline, right? Because I believe it's being said that he pulled the trigger on Tuesday. Also, guys, like you obviously read the articles by now. You've seen the blinds on B's site. Carl is the one that pulled the trigger on this, saying that he couldn't move forward with the wedding. What?
Yeah.
Like on a Tuesday night, imagine just sitting at home in that $13,000 a month apartment. Like, and
Right?
he's just like, okay, I got to do it now. Like, I want to know. So I know where you're going, where you're saying that, like, if it was fake and all that, but like, I'm going to go with the fact that, like, it was real because it's been going on for so long. Like, that's where I'm going to go with this question. Like, what prompted him to all of a sudden have this change of heart days after her wedding shower, after her bridal shower?
I think we're going to see a lot this season.
You think
That's
so?
what I'm hearing. We're going to see a lot of stuff this season. It's going to be, it isn't going to be out of nowhere. I'll say that. I'll say that. That's what I'm hearing. My question is, let's say it's all real. Is this breakup fake? Mind you, their bridal party thinks it's real right now.
Yeah.
So if it is, I guess you can't let anyone in because you always have some schmuck who's going to message me or you.
Right, exactly. Right. And if it is, I mean, you can always go along the lines as well as maybe they are just saying that they're calling it off for now, like maybe to get like a boost in maybe like excitement for the next season. And who's to say that in like a month or two they don't reconcile and actually go through with it? You know what I mean? Like,
and who's the queen of PR?
Well, right, Lindsay Hubhouse Hubbard. I mean,
and if you have a strong bond and a strong relationship, who's to say you don't fake some fights during Summer House, so that's shown. You don't fake a breakup, so that's shown. And behind the scenes, you're like, we're good. We're getting married. We're going to make some babies in a couple of whatever. Like, who gives a shit? We didn't like anyone on this cast anyway, so we're not even freaking lying to their asses. And we're going to get our asses another season. And we're going to get so much attention like Scandal got that we're going to get ourselves that fucking spinoff that I've been trying for. I think, so let's assume the relationship's real. If they make up, if they get married after all of this was all bullshit.
Right. And if that's the case, I mean, and I'm going under the assumption that, I mean, it is real and it's not fake, that like, what a roller coaster ride to put everybody through. Also, why have neither of you released a statement yet? It's been in the press for hours. Like,
well, rev it up.
Right. They're gonna, and I was like looking this morning, like thinking like, okay, it's Thursday. It's not gonna come out today. If anything, they're gonna wait for it to come out on Friday because the press loves to like release stuff on a Friday so they can like lose momentum over the weekend. But this is a holiday weekend, so like it's extra, like there's just more time for people to like get over it. Like I was like, oh, they're gonna make statements on Friday. Nope, it drops today, but I wouldn't be surprised if her and him didn't release statements until tomorrow.
I don't know. As we're talking about this, I feel like if they make it to Mexico in November and they get married, then this whole thing was fake.
Yeah.
Because if anybody would do it, it would be her.
Right.
And people will say, oh, but Carl wouldn't do that. Guys, Carl is marrying her. They're not all that different.
Right. And I mean, I feel like the only thing that comes to my mind as to like why he could have potentially called it off was because of her drinking. Like, I just honestly don't think, I mean, I think he put up with it for so long that maybe he just got to the point where he's like, okay, like, this is real. Like, it's actually happening. I'm not really like 100% confident in like the strength of our relationship, him being 100% sober, her not being sober, still socially drinking, but when she's drinking, she gets a little crazy. So I'm
more than a little crazy. And listen, it could, if this breakup is let's say this wedding doesn't happen, because if they broke up for real, they're not making up. He didn't come to this decision lightly. He didn't make up. This wasn't one fight. The reality is that, and any listeners who are themselves recovering addicts, it would be very hard for them to go the distance if she didn't give up drinking. Not that she has a drinking issue.
Yeah.
But it is, first of all, I have maintained that they shouldn't be on that show. And not that he shouldn't be on it, because I think he could be on it with a sober partner.
Yeah.
But if your partner is in the mix of all the foolishness and you have no escape, like last season, she really didn't get like that with him in the house.
Right.
But obviously, as time goes, unless you truly give it up, you're going to drink more, you're going to do more, you're going to go out more. So I just think that maybe he sat there and was like, you know what? This is going to be my life, and I can't.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, he just came to the realization that he just wouldn't be able to actually like go through with that long term. And that makes sense. I mean, in all honesty, like the best thing probably for him would be to be with another sober person. Not saying that a sober person can't be with somebody that drinks, but he's so like dead set in his ways and like this sober lifestyle that it just is hard for him probably to be with someone who still actively drinks and parties. You know what I mean? Because like,
and it doesn't even have to be somebody who's like sober in the way that he's sober. And I know you and I don't have many friends like this, but there are people
who
just don't enjoy having a cocktail. Like especially now that I'm a mom, it's the worst. And this is not, like, guys, I'm joking. I'm not talking about recovering addicts. I'm talking about people who just never drank, don't like it, aren't going to pop the bottle of wine with me at a 3 p.m. play date.
Yeah.
There are people like that. And if he were in a relationship with somebody like that who had a glass of wine with dinner and stopped there, that would be fine. But when you're a partier, to be with a partier, like how Larry is in his Sunday stories when he says, somebody arrest me.
Girl, don't at me.
I love those stories.
Oh my God, call the cops. Call the cops.
I don't live in Buffalo.
Oh my God, it'd be game over.
First of all, me, you, and your friend Faith from BravoCon.
Oh my God, yes.
The cops almost called on us.
I know. Oh my God, that is so funny.
Yeah, so I'm saying that if this is a legit breakup, he saw the light and he was just like, and maybe in that case, because something else I heard, and this is a scoop, is that it wasn't a fight. So one of the scoops is that, and I'm not even sure if I got around to posting it yet. I think I said it in the emergency pod, because there's a lot of little moving parts that I've heard, that it was a calm conversation. Okay. But here's my other thing, real or fake, I'm hearing cameras went up right after.
Yeah.
So Lindsay, in the midst of a broken heart, just called up production, was like, get your fucking ass over to this $15,000 a month apartment.
Right. That's the thing too. Like, so like, I understand, like, obviously, I believe this is their last weekend because it's Labor Day, so they must wrap filming this week. But it's a Tuesday night. They're probably not filming. It's been, you reported it, and it's been reported as well from Entertainment Tonight and Page Six. Cameras did catch this.
Right.
So if they weren't there, did they have to instantly call production, tell them what's happening, have production come to the house, and then they have to redo that all over again? You know what I mean?
Or maybe it looks something like she goes out for coffee or a glass of wine with Danielle and he meets up with Kyle, and that's how we see it. Nobody told me that. I'm just saying that would be less awkward than them sitting down and having the real conversation again.
Right.
Also, I'm hearing, and again, this is a scoop, they're not filming Labor Day weekend out east. They were doing pickups in the city.
Oh, okay.
So
that actually makes sense, because on Pillows and Beer a couple weeks ago, Craig had said that that Summer House wraps filming like in 2 weeks. So that would have been this past weekend.
Maybe they kind of, and again, we're going to see a lot this season. So maybe they kind of wanted to do it in the city because they didn't want to have to deal with the house members who, whether they were copacetic this summer or not, there's some real bad blood deep amongst a lot of them.
Right.
So I would say maybe they kind of were like, we'll do it when we get back to the city. We'll have production come. And I think, and I just thought of it as I said it to you, but I kind of think it makes sense for us watching Lindsay walking into a cafe with Danielle giving her a big hug, and her telling her, and then Kyle and Carl meeting up, and
him telling Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely see them doing like pickup scenes and like having like something like that happen.
Like Amanda and Danielle, depending on how good Amanda and Lindsay are, like right now.
Right.
Amanda and Danielle going to the apartment, and Kyle and Carl going over to Kyle's apartment. Like something like that would really like tie it together. And then the other party, right? Like Kyle and the girls could say like what happened, and then they could get all of that out.
Yeah. Guys, we're throwing a million different ideas at you guys, because I mean, we just set the whole scene for the end of season 8, right? Is it season 8 that's coming out? Like,
Larry, are we for hire?
I mean, I call us, but you know what also kind of like makes a lot of sense too is obviously we ended last season with Lindsay like in a bad spot with all of the girls, especially with Danielle, and then as filming kind of went on this summer, we saw that really it looked like a lot of like the relationships were being worked on. We saw Lindsay like posting photos and TikToks and everything with the girls in the house. So I'm wondering if, and I think this might actually have something to do with it, if their problems started in the beginning of the summer and maybe the housemates noticed that they were like struggling in the beginning, that the girls kind of banded around Lindsay as like a support system. So maybe this wasn't a shock to them as much as it's a shock to us because they've lived it the entire summer. Do you know what I mean?
Yep. I think that makes a lot of sense. I also know, and I know you know because you get a lot of like insider tips and all this kind of stuff. Which by the way, Larry sends a lot of it to me because he's like,
I'm like, you post it, girl. I don't want.
He doesn't like to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
Everybody already hates me, so I don't give a shit.
Oh my God.
People are like, are you scared Lindsay's going to DM you? I'm like, listen, to be clear.
Oh my God, somebody said that to me too. Somebody said that to me too after my run-in with her. I was like, I hope she doesn't.
And I was like, she has DM'd me. When I posted all that stuff about Luke, she came at me and I went right back at her. Like, listen, I get it. But here's the thing. You're the one on television, Lindsay. You're the one showing and profiting off showing your life. Who am I not to talk about it and try to profit off it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hate the game, but not the player. Like, don't be mad at me.
Right. And if it wasn't true, I feel like she obviously lives on her phone. She sees this. She follows everybody. She would shut it down so quick.
She tried to deny the situation with you at that event in the city.
Yeah.
To me. And I was like, Lindsay, I didn't hear this from Larry. Larry's not even like that. And if he did tell me, he would ask me not to repeat it, and I wouldn't. I heard this from people who were there. And she backed off real quick.
Oh, my God. I haven't even told the people about that. We'll save that for another day.
Oh, God. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I don't care. They all know about it anyway because I told them that you were going to be on here. And they were like, what? And I was like, what do you guys want to talk about? And it was that. And then Carl and Lindsay. And I was like, well, then all of a sudden that drops. So I was like, perfect. We'll talk about Carl and Lindsay.
You're like, oh, good. I got out of that. So I say all this to say you're going to have me back on when this is all fleshed out, maybe during the season, so that we can see what of our theories came true.
Oh my God, 100%. It's just like, I'm still in so much shock that like, I can't even say like, I'm shocked. It's just when something like this drops, like unexpectedly, obviously, like some people had a heads up, like we had known about this yesterday, but it didn't drop until today. But still, when it drops and everybody's talking about it and it goes so viral, you just like get so immersed in like questioning yourself, like with all of the
Kyle and Mauricio, like there were so many rumors swirling around them and whatever. We still don't know what is what. Right. But when they actually admitted they were separated, I mean, that's a 20+ year marriage. It's a little different, but it was, even though we knew something was up, and we really knew because we really had people telling us stuff. Yeah. I was still like, oh my God, like, and I knew.
Right. See, I didn't really like, I heard like whisperings and I like, for some reason that to me, it like just didn't hit like maybe Scandival did or like this did, because I just don't really believe, I'm not falling for like the hype that everybody else is, that like Kyle is with this Morgan person. Like to me, I was just like, it is what it is. Like we'll probably like hear about it on Beverly Hills. It didn't hit me like as shocking as like this stuff. You know what I mean?
Totally.
But like,
yeah. Well, what a lot of people are saying is like, oh, I knew they wouldn't make it. Okay, not making it is very different than making it up until after your bridal shower and calling off a wedding. Come on. I mean, we all know couples that make it to the altar and then we're all saying like, this isn't going to last. But the fact that you call it off right before is shocking. Like most people in those situations just pull a Luann and Tom.
Right. And then you just bite it. You like bite the bullet and you just like deal with it for 6 months and then get the divorce, which I'm glad that they didn't do. But also like I'm looking at her Instagram now. So her bridal shower was August 13th, which was just like 2.5 weeks ago. But like between then and now, what transpired to get you to the point where he decided to call off the engagement? Why did he not do it prior to the bridal shower?
To his friends being able to get refunded airfare and hotel to Mexico.
Right.
Which is the one thing that leads me to say maybe this is bullshit, and if they make it to the altar, it's bullshit, because you know you're going to call it off. Why are you going to go 2 days after the deadline? You didn't wake up and come to this decision. Right.
And also, like, if he's had these feelings for so long, why not? And you're going to be the ones to call it off. And everyone is saying that, like, she had no idea that this was coming. Then you're going to blindside her with calling off the engagement. But why wouldn't you do it 2.5 weeks ago prior to the bridal shower, where she's sitting there like excited? You're showing up with flowers. She's opening gifts, all this stuff, and like spare her the embarrassment of like now having to tell everyone that the wedding is called off. Like you should have done that before you're having like these big moments leading up to the wedding. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just like,
of course,
it looks like such a douchebag move on his part to like do this to her. And like, listen, guys, you know, like I like Lindsay. I obviously, you know, like I like a lot of the other girls just a little bit more. But just because I like them doesn't mean that I hate Lindsay. It still sucks what she's going through, and she shouldn't have to be embarrassed the way that like I'm sure she feels now, because now she has to call all these people and tell them that the wedding's off.
But also, Larry, like life isn't like life, but like our life isn't so black and white, especially when we're quote unquote bloggers or whatever the hell we are.
Yeah.
Like people will say like, oh, you hate Lindsay or you hate this one. It's not a matter of love or hate. First of all, Lindsay is an incredible reality star.
100%. Yes.
Star, baby. She's a star. Now, with that said, is she also a lot of other things that maybe are kind of unsavory? Yeah. Do I think she's like that in real life? No. I think she's very good at what she does. I think she's a very good reality star. If you follow her on Instagram, you see she's got a lot of real life friends, a lot of long-term relationships. She's very close with her friends' kids, and she's auntie, and she's this and she's that. I think she's a cool person. I think that when she's in her role, which in Carl's case, that Lindsay does come into his everyday life. If I'm Lindsay's friend from college, right? If I'm her girl from 20 years ago and I live in Florida and I see her 3 times a year, I get normal Lindsay.
Yeah.
If I'm on a show with Lindsay, whether I'm her fiance or I'm Paige or I'm Amanda, I'm getting activated Showtime Lindsay.
Yeah, you're getting TV Lindsay.
And if you want to have a successful career in reality TV, you need to be like Lindsay.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that people like me and you are always going to like her.
No, 100%. Yeah, no,
It doesn't mean I dislike her. I don't dislike her.
Right.
She's
No,
good
I
TV.
agree.
I don't dislike anybody that's good TV. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to post negatively about them. I think that Lindsay, I would be friends with her in real life. I think that she's a cool person. Am I going to be friends with her in my role and her role? Clearly not, because I'm not going to not post that her engagement's off.
Right. 100%.
And you want to know what? She wouldn't do the same. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the world she lives in. She profits from it. It's her livelihood. She could only be but so mad.
Right. I mean, it is just so wild. I also just I don't know, I just don't understand how it could have gotten to this point within the past. My mind is still what could have possibly happened unless he had this realization. I that, oh my God, all of a sudden he had this epiphany, oh, I don't want to get married to her.
Right.
I don't know. But I also want to know what the hell. I want to be in that Summer House group chat right now. I want to know what the people are saying. Better yet, I want to be in the side group chat with everybody except for the.
Well, Larry, I actually haven't listened to the episode yet, but I'm sure you have. The Giggly Squad apparently made some comments about Paige. Hannah said to Paige, "Oh, Paige was texting me this weekend. Oh my God, I have so much tea."
Yes. They said.
What do you think that was about, Larry?
It had to be about this. It had to be about this.
Not that they ended it that weekend. Listen, we are gonna see this. I'm telling you, we are gonna see this. Real or fake, right? Lindsay is, and I'm not, is Vanderpump Rules level in the way that whatever's fucking happening in her life, she could be having pure heartbreak. She shared her miscarriage.
Yeah.
I mean, she could be having pure heartbreak. She is sharing it because at the end of the day, she does her job.
Right.
And listen, Jennifer Aiden, all that shit, she could have just denied the cheating rumors. You know what I mean? She did her job.
100%.
So
she does it every
show up like that. Jessel, let's talk about RHONY for a minute.
Yeah.
Jessel does her damn job. You don't have to like her, but she showed up to be a New York City housewife, and I don't give a fuck where she lives because she's showing it, and she's renting an apartment.
Yeah, I know. I do want, we will. I want to talk about RHONY because I want to get into Jessel and how much I fucking love her.
Love her. I knew you would love her.
Yeah, I want to just real quick, wrapping up the Summer House situation with Lindsay and Carl. Where do you think, obviously you're saying presuming it's real or fake, presuming that it's real and this is done, where do you think Summer House goes from here? Because in my opinion, Carl exit, Lindsay goes back to the Hamptons next season or whatever they're doing, if they're doing a mix between the Hamptons and the city, and we get Lindsay back with the girls, and hopefully they all get along, they're going out there. You know what I mean? I want to see Party Lindsay single girl summer 2024.
Lindsay just saved Summer House. That's what I think. I think Lindsay had a job to do. I think whether it's real or fake or whatever it is, I think Bravo better pay Miss Hubbard. I think she is worth her weight in gold. And I think whether you like her or you don't like her, everyone on that cast better kiss the motherfucking ring.
100%. And literally, if there were ever talks of potentially canceling the show or whatever, or whatnot, maybe a switching cast, this literally just guaranteed at least Lindsay another season, and the whole show in general another season. So I can't wait to see what the hell happens. And that the fact that we have to wait probably 8 months before we even get this really pisses me off because I really just want to see it next week.
And it's still going to be good because whatever we hear,
sure.
Whatever we hear we're not going to know everything. We're not going to see how it really plays out, and we're not going to know our opinion on it. Like,
Right.
we all watch the same thing, and yet somehow all have different versions of what's happening.
Right.
So, and I'm going to say this. I have sympathy for Carl as a recovering addict.
Yeah.
I am not from the school of Carl is the second coming of Christ because he got sober. I think at the reunion we saw that he is a dick. Again, nobody's black and white. We all have personalities, whatever. I myself can be a bitch, a dick, whatever it is. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying this idea that she's the bad guy and he is the saint is bullshit. He was with her for a couple of years. Like, he is no saint, I guess. I say all that to say I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't come out looking so squeaky clean.
Right. No, I agree. And I think people do give him the like this like free pass because of all of that. But like, that can only get you so far. Like, we get it. You're sober, but like, you still are kind of a dick. Well, you know, and after this, you're really a douchebag if you blindsided her the way that you did. And I don't care what you've gone through. Don't use it as an excuse. Like, just hopefully he owns the fact that like maybe he could have handled it a better way. I don't know. We obviously don't know the logistics of like what happened or what got them here, or what went down. But I agree with you. He is not like the angel of Summer House. I mean, we've seen him in past seasons and he is far from it. He is, I mean, he's good looking, but he's still a douchebag. But
look, somebody just sent, I'm trying to open it. Somebody just sent that the breakup comes less than 3 months before their wedding, and it was filmed. You know, it's just that page clip from the reunion keeps playing, and
you know
what I'm saying?
What did you also be? And I want to get into RHONY. What did you? The fact that the engagement was a year ago, to the week.
Yes,
August 27th of 2022 is when they got engaged. So a year into it, and it's already over. I mean,
do you
listen?
I don't know. You know, it's hard to say because on the one hand, I never really saw it going the distance.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, they've made it this far. I thought they'd make it to the altar.
Right. No, I agree. And I mean, you could tell even last season there were some kind of like hiccups where people were like, maybe this was too soon. Like when she wanted to go out and he just wanted to stay home. He wants to go to Barry's at 8 a.m. Like all this stuff. Like, it's just like maybe the lifestyles just weren't compatible. I mean, regardless of what happened, we're obviously going to watch it. Summer House alone is one of my favorite shows, up there with Southern Charm. Those are probably my top two.
Oh my God, the Southern Charm trailer, Larry.
Oh my God, it was amazing. It was amazing. What I want to know from you guys, though, is what are your thoughts on the end of this engagement? Did you see them going the long haul? Are you upset by it? I want to know what you guys think about the bomb that just dropped this week with the ending of Carl and Lindsay and their 1-year engagement. Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's talk about it. All right, guys, we are back. We're going to talk about RHONY because we got into it a little while ago where we were talking about Jessel, but let's get into it a little bit more. B, what are your thoughts? Who are your favorites? What's going on? I haven't really been able to talk to like really anybody about RHONY, so I want to know what you think about the reboot in this new season.
It has exceeded my expectations, and I was already excited. I already thought that I would like it. Okay, first of all, Larry, and Larry knows me very well. I love Bravo. I love watching. I'm not a person, and he knows this because I was at BravoCon. I don't care about meeting them. I don't stand them individually, right?
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with Erin Leachy. Upset. I have to be her friend. I have to be her friend.
She's so cool.
She was born fucking cool, okay?
Yes.
Love her. I love her husband. I just love her. I like them all.
Yeah.
Jessel, first of all, I think Jessel is such an incredible combination of like Ramona Singers putting her foot in her mouth, but not backing down, but also giving us such vulnerability I love her husband. I love the whole thing. They're clearly going through a tough time. Jenna Lyons is fucking iconic.
Yes.
I mean, the people in the know who had seen it before were like, I don't know if Jenna fits. She fit. Like, she doesn't fit, but her not fitting, like, it makes sense.
Yes. It's almost like the girls know she's like too big to be there, but they're still trying to make it work anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And as they gain more fame, that'll kind of slow down.
Oh, 100%.
Like, remember when Luann was the Countess, but then like the playing field leveled for everybody because they had their own fame and then it went to their heads? That's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. People were like, oh, thought she could like do no wrong. She was just like this elitist, pretentious woman. And then like she got knocked down to reality real quick during that divorce, and then she was on an even playing field with all of them.
Exactly. Brynn, we all love Brynn.
Love Brynn.
She's the Sonia Morgan. She's the light. She's the fun. I think she's gonna hone that, and she's gonna be incredible.
Yeah.
And that's such a great role to have, honestly, because you kind of stay out of the real drama. Yeah. And I hope she leans into that, and she's smart, and she will.
Yeah.
Uba?
More Uba.
I feel like she was originally a friend of. I think that when Lizzie got cut, they bumped her up because we just hadn't seen enough of her. Yeah, she had COVID. She's great. She's going to be great. I see mid-season trailer. She comes with it. I'm going to tell you who I have a little beef with, Sai.
Ooh. Oh, okay. Yeah, what's your beef with Sai?
So first, the pros. The pros are, I love me some born and bred New Yorkers. Furthermore, she's a borough girl like myself, okay? However, she's trying to curate her personal life. Mm-hmm. She gets in there with everybody else, but her conversations with her husband, to me, seem very curated, very planned, very influencer-esque. Mm-hmm. We know your career. It's super cool. Show us some real stuff. She's too guarded. She's too guarded. She's gotta let us in a little bit.
I'm wondering, though, because she's been in that world, the influencer world, for so long, if she could even go as far as to like let us in more, because I mean, obviously she let us into like her rough upbringing about like growing up poor, but like what is there more? Because right now, and don't get me wrong, I love her. I think she's fabulous with like the influencer stuff with like the fashion. She just looks cool. Like the last episode when she walked in like that winter white, I was like, okay, she knows what she's doing. She dresses good. She's gorgeous. She has beautiful children, an amazing home. I love all the husbands. Her husband is just like... Love the husband. But I get what you're saying. Like, she just needs to like let us in more. But also like, what else is there? What else is there for her to like say, unless she's starting to like reveal her deep, dark secrets? You know what I mean? Because all we're getting from her now is influencer fashion and like a need to complain about food.
That's annoying, but it's not just that for me. It's that she's latching on to everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she's not showing us what's in real time, her real deal.
Yeah.
Like, show me a struggle. Show me a real situation.
Right. Right. I mean, hey, maybe I highly doubt it, but maybe she doesn't have any. You know what I mean? Some people are just that surface level, but...
Well, then I don't know if she can last.
Right. What do you, so I'm going to real quick back to Erin, because did you know she worked for Frederick? Did you hear that? Did you see that?
I did. I saw it ahead of the season, and we haven't seen him yet, but I think we're going to.
Oh, I hope so. I mean, she really is just so cool. I just love every single one of them in their own ways. There isn't one that really like has like irked me, or I'm just like, whatever. But like, and it's just like, even their men, I mean, obviously there's only 3 husbands because Brynn and Uba are single, and then Jenna just broke up with her girlfriend. But we got a glimpse at Brynn's ex Gideon this last episode, and let me tell you, I don't know what fucking rom-com he walked out of. I fell in love with that man as soon as he opened his mouth.
And he works for the agency's London and LA offices.
Stop it. No.
Yep.
Oh my God, are you serious?
I am serious.
Oh.
Everybody's in love with him. He's not really my style, but I can see the attraction.
Oh my God, I was like...
I have to tell you, I'm a little bit in love with Abe.
Oh my God, I love Abe, yes.
Like, he's like you have to be a little bit gangster to be with Aaron.
Yeah.
But he's like nerdy gangster, which I really I like a really smart gangster. Like I like an attorney gangster.
Yeah, and
it's basically an attorney who didn't want to be a criminal, so they go the other side of it, except for Rudy Giuliani, but we don't talk politics. Anyway.
Oh my God. No, I love Abe too. And he's like attractive. And he's like, isn't he Cuban? I think he's Cuban. Like he is just like,
yes, he's Cuban. His mother converted to Judaism for the father. And I shared this, I think, on my pod. He's very Mauricio, and his dad is a really successful, highly respected radiologist. They also have real buku bucks. Like Erin comes from
you can tell. Yeah, you can tell.
But they're like cool, down to earth. Like, yeah, granted, they have a mansion. And what about them all complaining about her mansion in the Hamptons? She's 36 and owns a multi-million-dollar house in the fucking Hamptons. Listen, Ramona has the same kind of house. Ramona bought it 30 years ago, guys. That house cost Ramona $2 bills.
Yeah. No, I know.
Afford that house today. I got news for you.
Right? No way. No, I agree. Yeah, they're complaining about it, but like also like none of you guys are taking these ladies to your vacation home.
The other thing I have a beef with is people who are being critical that the ladies rent. Here's my beef.
Oh my God, that drives me insane. Like, who the fuck cares?
But they're also like the oldest. Forget about Jenna, right? She also was like a supreme, like high level job. Sai is 42, I think. The rest of them are like late 30s. Yeah, they fucking rent. It costs $1 million for a 1-bedroom where we live.
Yeah,
they rent.
Yeah, I listened to yours and Amanda's podcast where you guys talked about this. It drives me insane where people were like, oh my God, Jessel and her husband rent their apartment. Okay, I bet you rent the apartment you live in. Who cares? Like, regardless if she rents or if she owns the apartment, have you seen her apartment? Even if she is renting it, it's probably $50,000, $60,000 a month.
It's also not a great time to buy in New York, so you're probably smart to rent and hopefully wait for stuff to level out. But like Sai, like, I found out that she most likely rents her brownstone, which, side note, would cost at least $4 million if she owned it. She's also building or has a huge fancy mansion upstate, probably the Berkshires, that she owns. Like, guys. Yeah, like, you know, it's like me watching HGTV. I take it very personally when people are like, I'm a wannabe poet and I'm an astrologer of underground stars, and our budget is $50,000, and then they take it to a gorgeous house. I'm like, fuck you. So much. Oh my! I've had a very stressful day.
No, it's fine. No, I agree. Also, like, again, it like, who cares if they rent? It like worry about like the entertainment that they're providing. And the fact that if she is renting, it's a gorgeous fucking apartment. Like, it is beautiful. And if it is the fact that her and Hobbit just moved back to the city,
right?
Who's to say they're not who's to say they're not looking for something? Maybe they're going to buy something, and we'll see in season 2 a home that they actually own. But I feel like until then, maybe just like count your own coin and not worry about where they're living.
Exactly. I'm with you.
She should move to Tribeca.
Yes, she definitely should move to Tribeca.
Oh my God. Wait, but I also, in regards to Jessel and Pavitt, I'm obsessed with, like, she's just like so vulnerable and like literally like letting us in like to every part of her life. Obviously, we learned like in the beginning of the season, her and Pavitt haven't had sex in 2 years. Fingers crossed, obviously I'm assuming that's changed by now. But that portion she let us into like, obviously now like her IVF journey and the fact that like she didn't tell her mother and her twins are 2 years old. So she went this long without like even telling her family that like she had her babies via IVF, and the fact that like she was able to sit down at lunch with her mom and tell her. I'm obsessed that she like let us into that, because the conversation probably like could have went left. Maybe her mom wouldn't have like agreed with it, but her mom gave the perfect response to the people, like, why wouldn't you call me? And like, I would have been on the first plane there and like helped you through everything. Like, the amount that she's like giving us and letting us into her life on is like amazing. 100%. She's center apple next season.
I love her. Like, I really do. I think she's great. I think, again, it goes back to what I said about Lindsay. You're not always going to, the person who you love, right? Who's like such a sweetie, like Tinsley, for example, they don't make great reality stars. They're okay on a strong cast, right? Like Tinsley was great on that cast, but she would drown with these ladies.
Oh, 100%. And the people are like, bring back Tinsley. I'm like, she didn't hit for me even when she was on, really. I'm like, no, thank you.
And I don't dislike her. She's sweet. She's let her go live with her puppies and whatever. But like
in Boca, wherever she is, West Palm or what.
The big thing about her was that she had been arrested and that all that drama. Once that passed, it was like, okay.
Right. I mean, what else is there? Like, I'm glad that like, see you later.
Problematic people make for the best reality stars.
They really do. They really do. And I mean, like, I don't know. I just like, I'm loving I just love it. I'm like, I can't even say enough. And I love the people that are like, oh my God, I was going to boycott it, but I started watching and I'm like obsessed with it. And like, it's just like, give it a chance. And like, you really will. Like, and I get it. Everyone still misses the OGs and like, they miss like.
And we're going to get them soon.
Ladies. Yeah, we'll get them. It's just like, but also embrace like the newness of what this is and just like go along for the ride because it really is. It's so enjoyable. There hasn't been one episode where I'm like, well, that kind of sucks.
Larry, we're going to be seeing a lot more reboots all over, babe.
Oh my God, 100%. I mean,
listen, reality is this, okay? Call me Confucius, but the Bravo model is going to be, it's not all going to be RHONY because they had to put a lot of money into that advertising, okay, to get people to watch. It's going to look a lot like Miami, where, yes, they took a long breaks, but where you have a couple ladies and you keep a couple and then you bring all new in. Atlanta, even though my source did tell me full gut, I think the Portia rumor, by the way, this is cocktail tea. Don't believe that Portia rumor, but I do think they're about a couple to get people in. First of all, RHONY was an uphill battle. They had to pay just as much in advertising as it would be to keep a couple of seasoned. But adios to the rest of them. Adios, Drew. Adios. I love Sonia and I love her husband. And in real life, I would love her son to be friends with my son.
Yeah.
It's just, well, he's younger than my son, but you know what I mean. Like, I'd love to hang out with them. I don't need them on TV. They're not that interesting. They're nice, normal, cool people. Doesn't make for great TV.
No, I completely agree. And then we'll talk about like the Atlanta recast. So that's obviously something that was like in the news over the past week, where they're saying that they're going to reboot the entire cast. And the article that came out was through B. Scott. And they said that production wants to just completely revamp it after like a disastrous season. They were saying like Bravo was on board because of the success of the RHONY reboot, that they were saying that they want all fresh faces. They don't want to bring back any old faces, and that it is possible that like they may go on a hiatus just to find the right people. Well, then all these other things started coming out.
They've already been looking.
Yeah. So, yeah, right. It has. I don't think it's been like someone said it, or maybe it was you, or it was just like a secret. It wasn't like a kept secret. Everyone knew that they were auditioning ladies for the new season.
Larry, we're in Atlanta.
Right.
Do you know how many up-and-coming artists' wives, athletes' wives, people with money live there? Come on. They're not going to have any trouble.
Right.
It's a joke. Listen, no disrespect to B. Scott. I think there was a lot of truth in her post, and like all of us, we get stuff, and some of it is more accurate than other pieces of it. With that said, the part that said that Atlanta is a hard city to cast, no, it's not. I'll tell you what it is a hard city for. It's a hard city to get people like Candy and Kenya to agree to certain people. Yeah. Right. You know, so that does come into play. Because if I have a name that one of my established expensive women refuses to film with, you know, maybe I cut that established woman, pay this person a quarter of it, and she brings in people.
Right.
The new girl. So I don't think we're going to have an issue at all. Can we talk? Are we talking about Atlanta? Because you know I'm on tangents. Can we talk about crazy ass Cam and crazy ass Croy and what the fuck?
Yeah. No, we can't. Real quick though, in regards to like the recast. Like obviously those stories came out and they were just like, everyone was like so quick to say something. And obviously Kenya had that interview with Carlos King where now looking back, obviously it makes sense from like the things that she said that like the ladies may be on ice. Then you got Sanya posting in her story, like everyone wants to be like the first to report this, like just wait and see what happens. Obviously, I feel like the girls are aware. Maybe they didn't want the public to know
Right.
like right away that it was happening. And every girl is going to be the one girl that's going to want to stick around. But we'll have to wait. I mean, I can guarantee it's probably going to go on like a little bit of a break and we won't get it until like the end of 2024. But they have such an amazing scene in Atlanta where like they're not going to have a problem finding ladies. It's like literally the amount of like Tyler Perry has that movie production studio there. Imagine like the actors, the actresses, the singers, the rappers, all the models,
especially with
everything.
the freaking strike, Larry.
Right, everything. They're not going to have an issue whatsoever. But with that said, okay, Kim and Kroy. What do you want to talk about? The second divorce filing, the lawsuits with Amex? What?
Okay, first, I don't think we see her back on Atlanta. I think
no.
The conversation we just had about them having so many great options in that city, why would they go there?
Right. They already know if they're trying to revamp it, they already know how she is as an employee, and she's very much just show up, shoot the scene, and leave. She doesn't really give you much more. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
It used to be Kroy waiting for her in the car while she would film, which is so freaking weird. Like, he just would wait for you outside. But I don't think we need to see her. I would love to see her on a girls' trip, but I could care less about having her back.
Yeah, girls' trip, yes. I think that man has had enough.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I think that they did, what I heard was they truly did try to make it work for the kids, but he was just like, this woman she's just never going to see the light. She's never going to stop gambling. She's never going to stop spending. And then there she is on a first-class flight with her yacht sugar baby daughter.
Right, and like draining him probably for all of his money.
I mean, he's been drained.
Yeah.
And like, you want to know what, Larry? That's on him too.
Right.
You know you can't afford a Rolls Royce. If I pull up into my driveway with a Rolls Royce, my husband knows if we can afford it or not. And believe you me, you know my husband, Larry. He just right back to the dealer.
Turn around. You better turn your ass around.
Right. The hell out of here.
Oh, nice try.
By the way, on that note, Larry, those Bills better watch out for those Jets this season with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
My husband wanted me to say that to you. I said, I'm going to record with Larry. He said, you better get that on the pod.
Oh, my God. Yeah, is it not? It's next weekend they play them.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, is that why he said it?
Yeah, they play them next weekend.
It was a general statement because he knows you're a Bills guy.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, I think it's not this Sunday, the following Sunday. No, I don't even know what that is.
On HBO, where they go behind the scenes with the football team, Jets.
Oh, no. I've heard about it, though. Yeah. No, I haven't watched it, but listen, you better tell him to leave me alone.
You guys will fight about this all Sunday season.
Oh, my God. I can't wait. Wait.
I just eat the snacks and don't pay any attention.
Oh, I know, right? No, I love it. Wait, but in regards to Kim and her situation, did you see that she was... Obviously, we know she was like selling her clothes and her bags and her shoes. Did you see she took everything down and now she's marking it up like hundreds or thousands of dollars more for like...
I did.
For like 2017 released items.
She was also
and they look so raggedy and used.
And she was at the airport with one of the bags, and like a follower sent me like a page 6 picture of her at the airport with the bag that a few hours earlier she was trying to sell. Kim, I don't want your bag that's actively being used in a dirty airport.
No, it's just like, I mean, she is really like, she's doing the most. She's trying hard to get that money back. And I'm wondering if she is selling the bags because she needs the money, or if she's selling the bags and using the money to go to the casino.
I think that that's what she's doing.
I mean,
her kids went from, listen, my kids go to public school, so I'm not knocking public school. Don't take it like that. But her kids were in private school for all these years, and rather than pay that tuition, she's gambling. So, because now she put them in public school, which is, again, my kids go to public school. I'm just saying, obviously they used to be in private school, so that change was made because of income, not because of wanting a public education.
Right. Oh my God, there was a moment, speaking of like the Bills and Atlanta, where Kroy was picked up by the Bills And I literally, as some like delusional like thought in my mind, I was like, I'm going to be friends with Kim Zolciak. But that was only like 2 days because they released him a couple days later.
Oh, you would have loved that. And you know what? She probably would have been really fun with you at a bar.
Oh, she probably would be like the best time. And like, I think she's crazy as hell. It would be so much fun to hang out with, but she's a hot fucking mess. Like,
she's a hot fucking mess.
Oh my God. I mean, listen, there was just like way too much going on today. I feel like we covered so much.
I can't believe an hour just went by.
Literally, like, I'm like, how did we flew through topics. Like,
oh my
God.
But
listen, it's not, this is her, I had to have her on. I've been on her podcast a numerous amount of times, and she'll definitely be back. We have so much that listen, when the good shit comes and like hits, I'm gonna make sure to get B to come on here, because obviously she's the one that has the scoop first prior to everybody. But B, you're the best. Thank you so much for hopping on here. This was like I like asked her like a couple days ago. Like I think it was a couple days ago. I was like, you want to record on Thursday?
Larry, it was perfect timing because Amanda's in Mexico, so we recorded Tuesday, and next week my kids go back to school.
Oh my God.
So the next like month is going to be like getting my life in order with my real job, my Bravo job, which I don't work for Bravo, guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a lot. So
back to normal.
Perfect. Now I have to go run and get ready to go to a kiddie party.
I know. Next time we have you on, we'll have to have Amanda on too, because
I told her, I was like, don't be mad. I'm doing this before I get back, before my kids go back to school, but she's like, I want to go out with Larry.
Oh my God, guys, you know her, you love her. B, let them know where they can follow you, listen to you, subscribe to you, all that stuff.
You can listen to me at Cocktails and Gossip. That's my podcast. I also have an Instagram, Cocktails and Gossip. Follow me at Bravo and Cocktails _ because my OG got shut down because people are haters. And if you want the scoop, you could subscribe to Cocktail Party. You could also go to bravoandcocktails.com, which is my free site. And then Cocktail Party has some extra scoop. Larry is a proud cocktailer who also visits our Zooms. We missed you at the last Zoom, Larry.
Oh my God, I know. I get the emails with the notifications. Guys, you need to follow her on literally everything. Like I said, if you were following her, I mean, I'm sure, listen, they got to follow the both of us at this point. But you would have known the scoop yesterday. Guys, B, again, thank you so much. Guys, I hope you have the best week to come. I don't know what the hell is going to drop before we record again next week and give you another episode, but you better believe that we will talk about it. Have a good weekend, guys. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Larry.
Of course.